Here at Derek Damon, it's the Iowa Heartlanders getting set to go against the Cincinnati Cyclones on a Wednesday here at Extreme Arena. Derek, how have the last few days been as the team gets ready coming off the weekend against Norfolk?
You know, I thought last weekend there was a lot of positives that you could take from that series. I think it was two really good teams playing really good hockey. Sunday afternoon, the score doesn't really tell the story of how the game was. I think we had opportunities to go up 1-0. And we weren't able to cash it on the power play, but we had some really good looks, and then we weren't. And then they got two quick goals, which, the timing is very important, especially the first shift after a goal. And before you know it, you're down 2-0. You're really chasing the game. And I think from our standpoint, we need to see more physicality, regardless if it's a Sunday afternoon. That's our identity, and we know it. So we've got to be better in that regard.
At this time of year, when sort of like the duality of guys gearing up for playoffs, you're trying to fine-tune your game.
Yeah.
How important is reminding the guys that this is the identity, that in some ways, like, I don't know if it's fine-tuning, but this is the identity, but at the same time, there are bigger things coming. Do you see what I'm trying to portray?
Yeah, I mean, and also, we're trying to see some different things. Guys, we're resting guys. And there's a fine line between load management and getting guys the looks that they need, and that's something that we take a lot of effort and putting a lot of effort into that and the lineup. But at the same time, everybody that goes into that lineup knows what our identity is, and they know how we have to play, the style of play that makes us successful.
Matt Hubbard, he's been a guy that's had his opportunities here or there. He's got 2 pro goals. I know he gets one last minute of a game there, but for a guy like that to be able to maybe build a little bit of confidence, and just some other guys that have gotten these opportunities here and there, how does that help push the rest of the guys when you see someone have some of their first little signs of success there in a Sunday game?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you get a goal, you get a little bit of confidence, and hopefully that bleeds into the next couple of games. And I think Cincinnati's a team that's out of the playoffs right now. It'd be hard. I don't think they can even get in mathematically, but they're fighting to not be in last place, and I think everybody in that room realizes that the teams that are in the playoffs, they're just playing at a different level, and I expect that all the guys that are in the lineup tonight are going to play at a higher level than we did on Sunday.
William Rousseau, nice to have him back, obviously. It's sort of like what does he add? Well, he's excellent. He was an all-star and all this stuff. But kind of getting the old band together back with Kyle and William Rousseau, how does that make coaching staff and a team feel, especially at this critical stages of the last few games of the season?
He's a great goalie. He and Kyle have been our backbone this whole year, and just getting him back, getting him some games before the playoffs. Both those guys, they'll each get 2 games this week, which is good heading into next week. And I think it's great. It just gives the guys a little boost of confidence knowing that they've got Kyle and Will back there. And, they're incredible goalies. And, the thing we were joking about it this morning, this coaching staff, that they have such great appreciation for one another. They genuinely want each other to be successful, and that's rare in pro hockey when the goalie position is such a competitive position.
Cincinnati, haven't seen him for a month and a half. It's crazy to say that it was a month and a half, 2 months ago almost, that Kyle Masters scored those back-to-back goals, and it feels like forever ago, but it really wasn't. Only 6 weeks ago that happened, back on February 21st. So Cincinnati, what does the tape look like, and what do you expect them to bring to the table?
Yeah, they've got some really good high-end talent. Their affiliates with the Toronto Marlies, they've got some skill. They're a team that when they get going, they're a hard team to beat because they have such high-end skill. So it's going to require our best tonight, and I think for us this 4-game stretch this week to finish off the regular season is a really important stretch for us because we want to get our game feeling really good going into next weekend against Fort Wayne. And this team will, the good news is last weekend against Norfolk, it was a really good test in different areas. This week will be a little bit different in certain areas of the game, but it all is getting us prepared for next Friday.
And sure, on Cincinnati too, since that slow start, 7 games above Hockey 500, playing at a .580 clip, so they've definitely been going good over the last few months. Yeah. Derek, thanks again for a few minutes. We appreciate it.
Thanks, David.
Absolutely. We'll be right back. Iowa getting set to go against Cincinnati for 3 games this week.